This is the show I was talking about. Maury has been canceled after 31 seasons. The Maury Povich Show.
Now, is that how it went? They canceled him? He didn't resign? Or
they did. They
say, I'm done?
NBC, the parent company that distributes the show, has canceled the Maury Povich. It started as the Maury Povich Show in 1991. Now it's just called Maury. He's 83, and he has said, proud of my work.
Well, Biggie and I were talking before the program, and, like you said, his show has been on for 30 years, but he's been in our conscience forever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's hard to remember a time when he wasn't on TV because he was, A Current Affair?
Yeah, he was on A Current Affair.
That's right.
When tabloid TV really became tabloid TV.
That's right. And he's married to Connie Chung, right?
Yes.
Who at the time when he was big, she was co-anchoring the CBS News. That's how long ago that was.
She's 75.
Wow. Yeah. And
but what are they going to do?
I know what's left. But at 83 and 75, we just travel or just
enjoy the money.
Streaming shows. There's a lot of guys, like even Dan Rather still does a streaming thing for
he does.
DirecTV or whatever. We have a few of Maury's great moments here. Biggie is especially.
Oh yeah, this is
loves this.
I love it. He changed paternity tests. He was the first one I remember.
That's the thing
that really brought the.
Is that all he does now?
Pretty much.
Shows?
Well, he does a few other things. He even did. And see, I'm shocked the show made it through the pandemic. He even did Zoom paternity test during the pandemic without a live audience. And it really, you need the audience because it just, it'd be like, so-and-so, you are not the father. And it'd just be a guy on a Zoom call like, okay, I thought I wasn't.
Oh, yeah, that's not the impact you want. No. When I think of Maury, I think of you are not the paternity tests. Mm-hmm. Yep. He used to confront people about their fears.
Right.
And then there was always... this may have not aged as well. Is this a man or a woman?
Oh, that's right.
Guess the gender.
Right. Yeah, he couldn't do those much anymore.
Boy, he got me on a few of those, though. I'll tell you. Chris Demm pointed out, said, is that a man or a woman? I'd be like, that's a woman. The guy's like, I'm
That's a man. No, it's not.
No, you're not. Yes,
yeah.
He is. He's a man. But he'd be dressed like a woman,
right?
Of course.
A lot of fights break out on his show too, like Springer, or not many.
I don't think
not as much. I mean, well, you did have the lie detector. He was big on lie detector tests too. Yeah. My husband is cheating. I want a lie detector test, and he'd go through all the results. Have you ever taken a pass at her sister? You said no. The lie detector determined that was a lie. Did you have sex with the neighbor? You said no. The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Great TV.
Yeah.
Maury really pioneered some of this stuff. One of the first things we ever heard from Maury, I had forgotten this was what it was from, was a woman arguing over a chicken tetrazzini where I guess her boyfriend had cheated on her.
Was someone else making chicken tetrazzini?
Yeah, he was into somebody else's chicken tetrazzini.
Dominique couldn't stand Paul, but now she coming to my house cooking them chicken tetrazzini. I'll pass out ready to start cooking. What is it? Do he want her and the chicken tetrazzini?
Okay. He did.
Yeah.
He wanted both her and the chicken tetrazzini.
Do we know if sales spiked?
Of chicken tetrazzini? A lot of...
I don't think you can buy that just anywhere. You got to make that at home, don't you? You can't, or get it out at a nice restaurant.
What a moment for Maury. Chicken tetrazzini. Yeah. Then, Chris Demm mentioned this. He would take people and make them confront their biggest fears.
Mm-hmm. Like spiders or snakes.
And then more innocuous...
But there were like strange things like blue jeans.
Cotton balls. I saw aluminum foil. And this one, May the strangest of all... Olives. Woman was scared of green olives. And Maury said, bring out the jar of olives.
Bring out the olives!
They just had a jar
I
of
hope
olives.
they paid her double.
Yeah, triple.
All these people were paid, right?
Oh, absolutely.
They always ran behind the stage, like running over cameramen.
Knocking over the stage hands.
No! Just a jar of olives on the other
Maury's chasing her back into back toward the dressing room.
Kimberly, come back! That's right. But what he was most known for, of course, Maury Povich, was the paternity testing. We have the very first one he ever did.
Really?
Yeah. And
did it become so? Did it? Can you tell from the first one what it would soon become?
It completely evolved because The first one, listen to how calm it is. This is one where he just says, "You are not the father," but he doesn't even use that line.
Today, we're going to be giving paternity tests to the men those mothers believe to be the fathers of their children. And by the end of this hour, no more doubts, no more accusations, just the hard truth. Here's the result. Dana, Sarah is your child.
So much more subdued.
Very,
Then it got to be more like this.
Case of 3-year-old Nailani, Rayshawn, you are not.
I told you. I told you.
That's what it's like every time. They're like, yes.
The lights going off.
They do like cartwheels and stuff
on
the stage.
And to me, and I know this is terrible, but I always root for it not to be the father.
Yeah.
Always.
And don't you think it was that way like 75% of the time, not the father?
I feel like he was pretty down the middle.
Okay.
I'd say he was pretty 50-50. But it was when they weren't the father, it was always the stuff like that. Because you always wanted that reaction.
And the mom like runs out to the dress, and they keep a camera on her.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There's always cameras backstage.
They must tell him, please run off the stage.
Yeah, they always
because
do.
she runs, because it's always, I am 1,000% sure that this man is the father.
Yep.
And then that happens, and then backstage they're like, is there anyone else? And the woman always goes, there could be 2 other guys.
In the case of 2-year-old Denver, Damon, you are not.
I told you. One time the guy will go into the audience and start high-fiving.
Oh, yeah. Well, the crowd always has to turn, too.
Yeah.
Because when the guy's coming out, he's getting booed,
Yeah.
The woman always comes out first, tells the story.
Yeah.
And then they bring out the guy, so you have to be like, boo, loser, loser. And then when you're not the father, the audience is like, we knew it, too. We love you.
When it comes to 1-year-old Destiny, Caesar, you are not the father.
Jeez Louise.
Is this the greatest thing ever on television or what?
I haven't seen this, but I love the sound of it.
I know. I know.
Do we know if who when Maury writes his story or tells his story, do we know whoever came up with that idea, the paternity test?
Man, what a great idea. I know. Did somebody just say
Change
to Maury,
TV?
Totally. Did someone say to Maury, we ought to do this?
Probably did it one time as a one-off, and then the ratings.
You heard it?
Yeah,
and then it
They
just
probably
probably
thought-
it snowballed.
Somebody probably said we could do this.
Yeah.
All the time.
Do it all the time.
Do it more often.
When it comes to 3-year-old Kanaya, Baran, you are not.
The dancing
I want to be the
non-fathers.
music director on this show. That's beautiful.
The dancing non-fathers are the
In the
best.
case of 1.5-year-old Thai priest, Eitan, you are not.
Oh, he'll be missed. Biggie, I know you're going to miss
I'm gonna miss
show.
that.
Well, I hope they do a
Of
big
course you-
retrospective on his show.
They
the past
should.
I don't know.
decades.
I think I'd leave him more out. I mean, even his shows from 10 years ago still play well.
Just keep on playing.
I just keep on playing those.
Will someone else come along? That's his thing now. Have other shows done? You are not the
You know,
father?
he's kind of, to me, he's kind of a dying era. All these talk shows now are feel good, like
Yeah.
Kelly Clarkson and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you know, you don't
Barrymore.
have this.
Yeah.
You don't have that anymore.
Positive.
Yeah, the paternity test and things like that.
You know who you won't remember, but I know Chris Demm and I do, and probably Dave as well, was, golly, what was the guy's name who was so in your face? He smoked all the time.
Morton Downey Jr.
Morton
Lord.
Downey Jr. And he was over the line. He was like at 11:30 or midnight. I mean, that's the only thing that got me away from Johnny Carson and David Letterman. His name was Morton Downey Jr., and he was the raunchiest, like worst ever that you've ever seen. And he would call lawyers, you know, pablum puking scum and all that kind of stuff. I saw him live once.
He was more. He had more attitude. Like Jerry Springer was always kind of middle of the road.
Yeah.
You know, the audience was crazy. His guests were crazy. And there'd be fistfights almost every show.
Right.
But Jerry almost tried to stay like the eye of the hurricane.
I think he was more respected, too, because of that. You know, like, people never made him, well.
Yeah, I wouldn't say respect.
Okay. Too strong a word.
He was a politician.
Too strong a word.
No, he was a politician.
He was a mayor of Cleveland?
Cleveland, right?
Oh, you're talking about Springer. I meant Povich. Maury Povich was more. Yeah. You're talking about Springer.
Yeah.
He was the mayor of Cincinnati?
Or Cincinnati.
Yeah,
one of those.
Oh, you're right. Maybe you're right.
Anyway, yeah, you're right. He was.
Doesn't one of his guys, his workers, his bodyguards have a show?
Yeah, Steve, the bodyguard.
Yeah. All these shows.
Yeah, he still kind of has a that style of show, but even that's to me.
And you think those are? Was it Oprah that turned it, and it all went the other direction? You know, Oprah got really.
She started to. Yeah.
She started changing it.
I think they got. I think they got more violent and more interactive. I think Oprah left that.
She did.
She left that genre. She kind of. Yeah. She put her toe into that for a little bit.
She was the first few years, and I saw an interview with Oprah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, she's never on TV.
And Oprah said she made the conscious decision, even though she was #1 in the ratings. I'm doing this differently. I want to do this because she was ashamed a little bit of that kind of television. So she said, I'm going to start doing it for good. And then Ellen followed suit, you know. And now, like Biggie says, Kelly Clarkson and the rest are in there.
Those shows were everywhere.
Oh, all over the place.
Yeah. Every day.
Yeah,
every hour of the day.
That's right. You know, but we just talked about Wendy Williams last week. She was a little bit more shocking, and now she's gone. You know, she left.
Her take, she was good about the celebrity kind of gossip and hot takes and things like that.
Yeah.
That's what she was good for.
Exactly.